A very good morning, students. I'm Dr. Shruti. Today we will going to discuss about the boundaryless organizations. Now, this is something which is a very really interesting topic, and you should understand about this that what exactly boundaryless organizations means, why they are necessary for the different in the different types of organization, why this type of organization is necessary, and how we can what are the different features of this particular type of organization. So a boundaryless organization is a contemporary approach. I mean, this is a very new approach in the organization design, and in the boundaryless organization, the boundaries that divide the people, such as hierarchy, job functions, geography, as well as those that distance the companies from the suppliers and the customers, are broken down. So these types of things like the hierarchy and the job functions and the geography are demolished in this particular type of boundaryless organization. Now, boundaryless organization seeks to remove the vertical, horizontal, external barriers so that the employees, managers, customers, and the suppliers can work together, share their ideas, and identify the best idea from the organization. Some believe that the boundaryless organization is a perfect organizational structure in the 21st century. Now, in boundaryless organizations, employees are empowered to make the decisions. Therefore, the decisions are made by the people closest to the root of the problem and who have to live with the consequences. Empowering and giving the authority to employees allows to have the shortest time between the decision and the implementation. Now, in the boundaryless organizations, the employees are very much free, the suppliers are free, the people of the external environment and the internal environment are free to contact and decide for the organizational growth and the development. They can work together for the organizational growth, and they are allowed to take the decisions and implement those decisions accordingly. So boundaryless organizations are able to achieve the greater integration and the coordination, as we have talked earlier, that the internal environment people and the external environment employees can work together. So the integration is very much there in the boundaryless organization. It shows that the integration of the resources and the human capital, they are able to adapt the environmental and the technological changes faster. Now, these are the types of the boundaryless organization. First is the network organization. In the network organization, various functions are coordinated as much as the market mechanism are as by the managers and the formal lines of the authority. Emphasis is placed on who can do and what most efficiently and economically rather than the fixed type detected by the organizational chart. Next is the virtual organization. The most interesting organizations and the networks are the dynamics or the virtual organization. In virtual organization, the alliance of the independent companies share skills, cost, and the access to one another's market. It consists of the networks of the continually evolving the independent companies. So that is the virtual organization. Next is the modular organization. Modular organization is the organization that performs the few core functions and outsource the non-core activities to the specialists and the suppliers. Services that are often outsourced includes the manufacturing of the parts, trucking, catering, data processing. These are also included in the modular organizations where the only non-core activities are outsourced. Next, we were talking about that the learning organizations. So, the learning organizations are the concept of the learning organization is it doesn't involve the specific organizational design. Learning organization is an organization that has developed the capacity to continuously adapt and change because all the members take an active role in uh, identifying and resolving the work related issues. In learning organizations, employees are practicing the knowledge management. It is very much important to understand that what knowledge management means. I will tell you in the upcoming sessions that what exactly KM means. KM means knowledge management means. So KM continually acquiring and sharing the new knowledge and willing to apply the knowledge in making the decisions or performing the work. So organizational design theories even go so far as to say that the organization's ability is to do this or that, is to learn and apply the learning as they perform the organization's work, may be the only sustainable source of the competitive advantage. So we have learned about these four types of the organizations, boundaryless organizations. Later on, we'll discuss about in the next session we'll discuss about something else. So this was all for the day. I hope you like this video, students. Having any query or the doubt, we can have the live sessions as well. Thank you so much, students. Have a great day.